Hello everyone. Hanson back again with another reading. I did my TikToks if you guys are interested. I do have my TikToks. Check my link in the bio, or if you're coming from TikTok, welcome. I just did a really interesting series of readings for that, but I like to do longer readings here on my YouTube channel just to give people a little chance to see like what's going on. But this is a different set of readings. I'm using my Panda Tarot. I like to show everybody the box of what I'm using so you guys can look for it yourself. This is the Way of the Panda Tarot, and it is so cute. I just love it. The card quality is fantastic. It's got a beautiful sort of bamboo-esque green edging, and it's got little pandas doing all sorts of fun little adventures. But we're starting off our reading today with the Four of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands reversed. I'm trying a little freehand action, which I'm really enjoying. I do enjoy a good freehand pull. With a little, like, hang loose over here, Eight of Cups. So what that's telling me is, okay, so we've got a Four of Cups. Let's get some clarity. I like to explain tarot as being more of a language than, like, independent cards always having meaning. And knowing how to pull cards to get answers, information, bits and pieces, to have your story told. Clump. Clump can go here. There's a clump going on with the Empress and the Two of Pentacles. There's just a lot going on here involving some of these card pulls. And what I'm seeing is, ooh, not the Devil and the Three of Swords. Oh, with the Four of Wands, we have a mess here. Oh, and the Seven of Swords. Somebody was bad. Let's see. Strength. So I like to pull clarity. So certain cards have more meaning than others. There's like main topics, and then there's an elaboration on why that's true. So for example, we have this Four of Cups here, which is like, oh, okay, the Four of Cups. What is that about? Somebody was ignoring or not receiving what was offered. Then we have the Five of Cups reversed, grief. Someone is thinking back on the past of what if, right? With the grief, they're grieving in reverse. Someone did not receive, and they're in regret now about it, kind of. But it's not terrible. When I see the Five of Cups reversed, it's almost like they didn't do it back like then, but now they're regretting what their future is going to look like because of a decision they didn't make before. And I was looking at that, and so I have dream space, which dream space reverse. This is somebody who's in their head. They're in their head daydreaming about what their life could have been if they were better to you, or if they were better in general. I typically end up doing love readings by accident, but so I'm like, they were terrible to you, da, 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 da. And it's not about you or them or whatever. It's more like I just get caught up in the heat of it, as it were. I'll lower my seat here. There we go. But it's because I like to lean lean on the table. But I have the second segment is the Two of Pentacles and the Emperor reverse. Someone juggled an Empress. I mean, that's clear as day. Someone be juggling an Empress, and then I got this fat clump of cards. Fat clump of cards is there's like a lot. There's a lot going on. It wasn't just juggling. There's a bunch of energy here, and it's all kind of. When it comes down to a big clump, I don't always say that the clump is meaningful with all the cards individually. Sometimes it is. But most of the time, the clump is coming out to say, like, they had a lot going on. We're getting some confusion. We're getting a little bit of flirtation. I'm seeing someone was stubborn, not wanting to change out of their old ways. Chariot was here. Healing was requested. But they were probably, and this one has a motorcycle, so like, and then I see the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about friends. Motorcycle is about trying to be cool, so they might have been trying to be cool to their friends. With Two of Swords, not making a decision or a choice on to change something or to start something new. So I feel like this person wanted to live their old crazy lifestyle, and they slept on an Empress. I'm like, oh, okay, so tell me some more. This is definitely connected. I would recommend checking out my TikTok page, or vice versa, coming here. There's similar energies. But I often read about, like, love readings, so I'm not surprised. Eight of Cups is, like, they're hoping you're not over them. It's the thought process. They're hoping you're not over them, but they understand if you would be, because they deserve it. Because they've just been awful, man. This is not good. So I'm seeing the Four of Wands. Four of Wands reversed, which is like somebody sabotaged a really beautiful relationship with their devil-like behavior, with old past behavior, and their Three of Swords reversed. Basically, this person has had their heart broken so many times that it has trapped them in a cycle of unhealthy behavior and like addictive tendencies or self-sabotage, a lot of dark self-abuse. And the energy coming out here is interesting because then the Seven of Swords reversed. I feel like this person self-sabotages every relationship that could be good for them because they are just, uh, they've had their heart broken so many times that they've just conditioned themselves in that way. Yeah, I've just got the Eight of Pentacles working on, and then the Lovers. They might be working on themselves after the fact that this relationship fell apart in an attempt to maybe come back sparkly and new and, having overcome their previous issues. And they're fixing themselves in hermit mode. They're hanging out in their own space. Ace of Cups reversed. Oh, this poor individual, This person self-sabotages because they juggled an Empress because they fell into their old dark habits, and they really hope you're not over, or like totally over them, because you should be. This person was awful, and they're hoping for forgiveness, but they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to earn that forgiveness. Like, you can forgive the ever-loving hell out of this person if you want. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But taking them back, forgiveness is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness is not the same as betraying yourself by choosing a relationship that didn't choose you in the past and is still choosing not to choose you now. We're getting a clump. So I got the Seven of Pentacles, and then I got a couple other layers. I'm seeing what else wants to come out for this reading here. It looks like we have the Seven of Pentacles talks about sowing seeds, investments, and thought processes. So like, not thought processes, but like, sorry, investments and sowing seeds and like growing some things. I said thought process for a reason. So this person was, there's a Queen of Wands involved, followed by an Ace of Swords reverse. Someone's not telling the truth. Followed by a Page of Swords, followed by a Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is definitely related. So go check out the TikTok. This is even a different deck. What in the world with the Six of Wands? This person was trying to like sow seeds in preparation. So they were talking to a Queen of Wands about like lying and not telling the truth. The Page of Swords talks about spying or like communicating, and the Nine of Pentacles is about like staying by themselves. So I'm gonna get some clarity on each of these, like maintaining their independence. Sorry, I'm getting just a little ahead of myself. I'm just like, oh, what's going on? Then we have the Six of Wands over here, which is like an attempt at victory and success over something. So I don't know if somebody was trying to sabotage this situation or what. Queen of Swords reversed. Interesting. So I guess they had a bad opinion of you with the Queen of Swords reversed. I feel like there's a bad opinion of you with this Ace of Swords. Like, they can do what they want because you're a bad person, kind of thing. Like somebody trying to dig up dirt on you because like it's justified that they could treat you like this because you're obviously a bad person, and it's fine. Nine of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, but you're not. You're actually fantastic. You're the Queen of Pentacles. You're the Nine of Cups. You're the wish fulfillment and the nurturing love, and this beautiful Ace of Pentacles. You are the blessing from the universe to this person. You're the gift, the blessing from the universe to this person, and they slept on an Empress. They fumbled an Empress. What is going on? They're like trying to dig up dirt on you, trying to figure out what's going on. There's a clump. The Chariot reversed. So someone not actively looking to heal, not actively looking to bring this to a safer, healthier place, trying to train wreck this monster. The Two of Wands reversed. Again, it's giving very two-faced. It's like trying to sabotage this connection with this idea of who are you really? They're like looking, they're breaking their backs trying to figure out like what's wrong with you with it. And then the Eight of Pentacles reversed. It's turning out like you really showed up. You were really just the perfect person at the perfect time, and they just really screwed it up because their own emotional like dissidence is trying to protect them, and it's they're also accepting really terrible advice from this Queen of Wands. I have another kitty crying. That's more confirmation. Why are they crying? Um, I have the world reversed. This is about them. This is them trying to get their like independence with the Nine of Pentacles. They have the world reversed and the Tower reversed, and the Six of Cups. They were finally realizing who you are, honey. They couldn't see the Empress that you were. Ten of Pentacles split at the bottom of the deck. They're bearing witness to who you actually are and who you're supposed to be for them and what they did to you. And they realize, like, how can I fix this? I don't know if I can fix this. Oh my god. Um, Ace of Pentacles reversed. No. This person is realizing that you were kind of like you were the best. You were the perfect person for them, and they completely destroyed this relationship because they were just, I don't want to say they were dumb because that's not about intelligence. This is about trauma. They were not healed. They were not processing. They did not solve their issues, and because they chose not to heal, they chose not to grow up and solve their problems. They are stuck here in a spiral, thinking about you and like having a negative turnover and like a boil over with this the Queen of Wands here. This person that they were listening to, trying to tell them what was up, what was up. And I'm also, in the previous readings that I did for TikTok, I'm feeling like there was a group of people. So there might be more than one, but there's like one person in particular. I say like not necessarily a mother figure, but kind of like that guiding light figure, someone who your person thought was wise or was advising them on in a way. The Six of Wands is coming over here. So it's like, okay, victory and success. What are they victory and succeeding over? We have the Hierophant and the Moon. So like achieving success within the group that is trying to get whatever the circumstance is about. But they're not sure if they made the right decision with the Emperor reversed, and the Six of Swords. They're realizing that, like, yes, they might have played the game, like, well with whoever they were playing this game well with. I think they thought it was like some sort of strategy, but what they're realizing is the strategy or the game that's being played with their little friends is not what's actually serving them in the grand scheme. With this Seven of Cups reversed, they're realizing like there's a little bubble pop and the delusion is here and the sun is coming out, basically clarified with the Nine of Wands reversed underneath. This person's in their head spiraling, thinking justice reversed. They realize they really did you dirty, and they're not really sure why they did you dirty because they had no benefit to do you dirty. There's nothing in their life that got better from being awful to you. And karma's also being a monster, kind of destroying their life. And it's like, ooh, what in the world is happening? I don't see anything like terrible with this. As far as like, if they're getting their comeuppance is all it looks like. They're just they spirit brought you to them as a blessing, and they decided to drop a dookie on it, and now they're in like a karmic misery and hell. What else do we have? Nine of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Reversed. This person wanted their independence, is what they pretended. Imagination station. They thought their independence would be better than it actually was, and that's why they weren't reciprocating, and they're realizing now that, they're running into a lot of obstacles in life. Life would have been a lot easier for them if they were just better to you. With the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it's a little bit like, ew, what's happening? There we go, Justice. Three of Swords, split the deck, Five of Pentacles. Oof. Oof. This person's left lonely and depressed and out in the cold and heartbroken because they did it to themselves. They broke their own heart by mistreating you and taking too long when they should have shown up and been better to you. And this is kind of their punishment. Their punishment is to watch you kind of glow up and thrive and do amazing while they're stuck in the sidelines seeing what they could have had with you if they were not so self-destructive. This person could have been fantastically blessed, but they chose to, listen to their trauma and listen to other people who share that trauma instead of like growing up with, and taking the leap of faith. I feel like this person stayed in their past habits instead of stepping forward into who they knew they could be and they should have been. Splitting to that Nine of Cups. They don't get their wish fulfillment because they didn't take the thing, and they're stuck with what ifs with the Queen of, or with the High Priestess. So there's your guys' reading for today. A little extended for you. I look forward to doing a reading for you again in the not too distant future. This is Hanson signing out, and I hope you guys have a great night. Later.